they're not compatible. Looks like Brandon wants to get unmuted, so I'll give you 30 seconds to just kind of check in. Otherwise, I'll have to pop you back.
Please don't do anything crazy.
Yeah, I don't do that.
What's going on?
I don't troll. I don't. That's fine. I don't know why I get muted.
All right. Well, you're in control of your own mic from here on out, so just use that wisely.
Does this mic work? Well, that
Who's been loving you?
Oh, I would never troll around and be crazy and yell and scream, and I won't interrupt people when they're talking. I won't do anything like that.
Welcome to the chat, man.
Alright, cool. I've been here a couple of times. I mean, I've been unmuted a few times, but this time I just wasn't for some reason.
Yeah, I can't even imagine why you were muted, bro. But yeah, no worries. I'm glad to have you. So, did you want to add to the conversation anything particular, or?
Well, I was wondering why you reject the 1972 Blue Marble, because Photoshop wasn't invented then, and you may say it's propaganda, but propaganda for what? To what end?
Well, I mean, they're still going. It's not like they were gonna.
Well, I'm sorry.
Well, it's just, I look at it like Santa Claus. Like they're never gonna come out and go, all right, guys, look, we're done with Santa Claus. We're not gonna do it in the mall anymore. We're not gonna. No, it's just gonna keep going every single year. It's about, you have to decide, all right, look, I'm old enough. I can look into this for myself. I realize Santa Claus is BS. I don't need someone to tell me that. I can learn for myself. So in the same way, with the globe and outer space and stuff, you don't need someone to tell you, hey, look, all right, we were lying. It's up to you to creep down the stairs on Christmas Eve and figure out, all right, well, damn, I guess Santa Claus isn't really real. So, they don't need to tell you. You have to figure it out on your own.
And what killed the dinosaurs?
There were no dinosaurs.
Wow.
How did
I'm
you just
sorry.
kill the dinosaurs, dude?
Where's proof they existed?
I'm just gonna ruin your reality. I'm worse than Adam ruins everything. I'm gonna ruin your false reality right now. The dinosaurs, that whole crap was just a cover-up for the Smithsonian finding massive human bones, like from giants. But that's another story and has nothing to do with the shape of the Earth.
Well, they thought those bones were from giants, but they were from
I don't
mammoths.
care about the damn dinosaurs. It has nothing to do with the shape of the Earth, buddy.
Well, you changed the subject, so I'm going
No,
to
you
that
didn't.
subject.
But
No,
listen,
we're on the shape of the Earth.
No, I did. Okay.
From my understanding, it's like the
Yeah,
idea
check
of
this
outer
out.
space. So someone came up with the idea of outer space. It wasn't discovered. And same thing with dinosaurs. We don't need to get into this because it's not really, the topic. But people have came up with the idea of dinosaurs before anything was ever like dug up. So I'm not a dinosaur guy, even though I used to believe
alright,
that.
let's talk about the stupid deal then. Sorry. I'm sorry I did that.
No, it's fine. But like, if you just open the news today, there's gonna be 4 or 5 articles every day that is just pushing this idea of outer space, the globe, whatever. So they're just reinforcing ideas in your mind. So why do they do it? Well, I don't know, dude. But I look at it kind of like it's Christmas time. Well, we just put up all the decorations, dust off the old Christmas tree from last year and put it on up. It's just tradition at this point. Why did they do it? They're not going to stop. So it's just a traditional thing. But people ask like, well, why does it matter? Why would they lie? Just in the last few years, we saw people were walking around covering their face, and they were told that something might come crashing into your system. You better be careful. So they're telling you also that things might come crashing into the earth any day now. So if you see some, if there's a future where see people walking around with helmets on because they're told that something might come crashing into the earth, better cover yourself.
Yeah, it's Elon Musk's brother in space, bro. He's coming.
Yeah, I think what CB's trying to get at, and correct me if I'm wrong, CB, but what's happening is there's a whole bunch of fear propaganda that's put on the masses. Okay? My whole life, as far as I can remember, there's been a threat of an asteroid that's going to hit Earth, or that we could get sucked into a black hole. It's just fear, 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 fear. And they're just force feeding this fear propaganda to us. And we really have fear because we're not zooming, we're not booking it through space at, millions of miles per hour. That's just not happening. So do you understand what CB's saying now? They try to just push fear into everybody with this crap.
Fear propaganda is a thing, and it does happen, but you're trying to extend it out to everything.
No, I'm not trying to extend it to anything that it's not, I promise you. Definitely not trying to extend it to anything that it's not. CB, if you want to go ahead and take the floor again.
You would never, ever put a space junk helmet on if you didn't fall for the crap that they're telling you. That's the thing. Like, that's what. Why do you asked, like, why do they say this stuff? Well, like I said, like you would never freaking fall for it. They have you under control, basically. If they can tell you to cover your mouth and your head, well. They're basically not going to be able to tell me that, or Jenna, or these other people in this Discord. No flat earther's going to fall for putting a freaking space jump helmet on.
So COVID was fake to you guys?
Well, we don't get into that here.
Well, that's what you're doing.
Not really. I mean,
put
not
a
really.
Space
That's not really
helmet on and something over your face.
Yeah.
Because of diseases. That's why.
Well, I mean.
Saying diseases don't exist?
No, I've never said that. I'm just saying that essentially you were asking why would they push this type of rhetoric? Why are they pushing this propaganda? Well, there is not a single flat earther out there that any genuine flat earther that's at least got to this Discord that we don't think outer space is real. So if they're telling us, hey, something's gonna come crashing from outer space, you better cover your head. No one's gonna fall for that. At least that's a flat earther. So that's what I'm getting at. I'm not talking about diseases. That's for you to do your own research or whatever. But that's something we really get into. But even we don't need to get into that. But there's been plenty of information that has come out that I don't even need to say anything. So.
Okay, what's its shooting star then?
I don't know. I look up and see pretty things in the sky. But what? Am I supposed to go up there and start testing things? How would I know? Look, you got a sample of a shooting star?
If you want to know, you can test.
How?
In many ways. Get a telescope.
Oh.
Powerful enough.
Funny thing about shooting stars is that we never see them going up, like straight up in a vertical direction. Like, we should see if we're living on a spinning ball. Just want to point that out.
Yeah, that is true. It is a good point that you would think that if we were in outer space on a globe that we should see quote unquote shooting stars come from all different directions, even up from the horizon. But we don't see
that. But we don't see that. Yeah. We see shooting stars that, I mean, meteor showers, like think about like a thunderstorm or isolated showers and storms. They fall down. They come down.
Well, they're all in the atmosphere, that's why.
Well, I mean, think about that, dude. It just kind of adds to the wonder of life because in a globe Earth paradigm, you can ask these questions. Oh, what's a shooting star? They'll have an answer for you. It'll just give you an answer. Oh, okay. That's what that is. All right, got it. But when it comes to flat Earth, we admit that there are unknowns, and that's okay. For some weird reason, people would rather have a story made up, complete BS, over just saying, I don't know. Okay, so let's take a look at the globe where they admit that there are some unknowns. Okay, they say they've explored outer space more than the oceans. So they say the oceans, there's some unknown factor to the ocean.
Think about that real quick. Think about that real quick. That they have got all of space figured out, but haven't even explored more than 10% of our oceans? How ridiculous does that sound?
Well, it's the opposite, actually. We know more about space than we know about the bottom of the ocean.
That's what
I'm saying, brother. That's what I'm saying. And it makes no damn sense that somehow... Listen, it makes no damn sense that we somehow know all of this about space and don't know shit about our oceans. Don't you think that's weird? Don't you think that's weird that we barely know shit about our oceans, but somehow we know all this stuff about space? Doesn't that seem kind of weird to you?
Well,
Shouldn't we know about our oceans? Shouldn't we know?
I think there's a reason why we can't go that deep, because we will get crushed.
It has nothing to do with depths necessarily. It just, we haven't explored but 5% of our ocean. The surface of Earth is 71% water. We've explored 5% of the square volume.
Because a lot of it is too deep to explore without getting crushed.
But without getting into the super technical parts of this, the point is that there are unknowns.
They don't want to get technical.
With the oceans. So, especially the sky. Like, people come here like, oh, well, tell me about the sky. What is the shooting star? What is the moon? What is the sun? What are the stars? I don't know. There really is no answer. I mean, even before I became a globe earther, before I became a flat earther, when I believed in the globe, I heard quotes like that the greatest mysteries known to man are the sun, the moon, and the stars. And so now as a flat earther, I completely understand that you're not going to know what the sun is. Okay, I'm a man, so what am I going to do? Turn to the left, to my neighbor and to my right, my family, and to ask them? What the hell are they going to know that I wouldn't know? Okay, so I don't expect to get the answer to what these unknown things are from my fellow man. So I've accepted that I may not ever know that. So, unfortunately, I can't tell you what a shooting star is. I can't tell you what the sun, moon, or stars are.
And it sounds like you don't really trust the authorities that would know. So, yeah, you're kind of stuck.
They would know. They wouldn't know. All they have, okay, and we had the same thing. You have this as well. Is just the same bedtime stories that everyone else has. Oh, well, the sun is a burning ball of gas. The moon, that's a rock. Okay, so we know the stories, the claims. You can just auto-believe them, or you can go and check to see if what they're saying is even remotely true. And when you start to do some investigation, you start to realize that the claims fall apart. Like, you touch them and they fall apart.
So the moon isn't a rock?
How? How the hell? Even back in the 1960s, there was people that didn't believe that. I'll get a clip for you, just so you don't have to hear it from, flat earthers. But there's been people forever that didn't think the moon was a giant rock in the sky. I mean, what the hell? Well, why would it be that?
Many people were under the notion that it was basically an equal/opposite counterpart to the sun, being like a cold plasma light phenomena. Like the sun is a hot plasma. I'm not going to say this is what it is, but I can tell you what it isn't, and the moon isn't a rock.
How do you know that?
How do I know that? Through thermal imaging. I'll show you, buddy. Hold up. I'm getting to it. And here we go, right here. Take a look at this real quick, and you tell me, where's the other half of the moon? Take a look in the text chat here.
Okay, hold on. I need to catch up. Sorry.
Yeah, they told you that the moon is a solid object, but it disappears every month.
Yeah,
every
what kind
moon
of rock does that?
Phases of the moon, maybe?
Okay.
Phases of the moon are what they explain as like a shadow on the moon. So the part of the moon that you see that is missing is what they call, that's just the shadow side. Although, look at it carefully. Can you see a shadow on the side of the moon that you can't see, or do you see blue sky?
Why would you expect to see something you can't see? Hold on,
You see blue sky. You see blue sky through the moon, and in the thermal imaging, you don't even see the other half of the moon at all. So, what kind of rock does that? What kind of rock just halfway disappears like that? It should be a shadow. We should be able to see the whole thing in thermal, but we can't even see the whole thing in thermal. What kind of rock does that?
Yep. I want to play a quick clip here. Just bear with me for just a second.
Fuck.
Oh. Hold on a second.
So we can't definitively say what the moon is, but any flat earther here has figured out what it isn't. And we all know that it isn't a solid object in the sky. That's what we know this far.
Just by looking at it.
And coming to more knowledge and increasing the knowledge takes more years of research and studying, So we may, have it figured out in the next few years. Who knows? But right now, we've figured out that it's not a rock.
To be able to get observable facts about the moon fairly soon, what is your theory?
Well, it is by now rather more than a theory. 10 or 11 years ago, I stated to various scientists that the moon is not a piece of rock, but it is a plasma phenomenon, cosmic plasma, and that this fact will eventually be confirmed. I made certain predictions which were already confirmed in 1958, and the situation now is coming close to a complete confirmation.
What will be the result if you are proved to be correct in your theories?
The result will be profound and decisive, because it will give proof that a complete reinvestigation of the laws of nature is necessary. Because if the moon is a plasma, no man will ever land on it. The soft landing attempts will all fail. That means that the mass of the moon is far less than is currently assumed.
Yeah, anyway, so that's not my claim. I'm not saying this is, necessarily true. It's just that even back in the day when they said, we're going to go land on this rock in the sky, people were like, yeah, that's ridiculous. So, I still think that's ridiculous.
I posted where that came from in the chat, CB.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, yeah, to keep this theory alive, you say we never landed on the moon.
No, we never landed. Nobody's ever been on the moon. You can't land on something that isn't a solid like that. Nobody's ever landed on the sun. Nobody's ever landed on the moon.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
I honestly don't agree, but I'm not here to argue. I don't want to, I don't know.
Well, it's okay to have differing views, but the whole point of this is to come to observable reality, okay?
Well,
So what did you just observe? You just observed that the moon is not a solid, right?
Well, I thought you rejected pictures and video and stuff as propaganda, didn't you?
Not as a whole.
Not as a whole. That would be so silly. That's like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Do you know what that means?
So you're being selective on what you say is
No,
propaganda.
no, you don't just accept a picture on face value. So you have to sort of go into it. Does it match reality and so on? So if they show us a picture of curved lakes and curved oceans, and we go out to a lake and an ocean and they're not curved, then what do you do with that photo? And maybe it doesn't match reality. Maybe you can dismiss it. So you don't just accept it on face value.
And you just use your eyes for that? Or.
No, I mean, not necessarily. I mean, you can do long distance observations, laser tests, mirror flash tests. I mean, there's lots of things you can do to go and check reality to see if what they're saying about it is true. I would recommend you do that.
Lasers can bend, though.
Huh?
Lasers can bend, though.
What can bend?
Lasers in the right conditions.
No, light doesn't bend. Can someone pull up the laser light refraction on convex and concave and flat mirrors? I might have it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, bro. But what I would say doesn't bend is the water. So, I mean, people talk about like, oh, well, physics, bro. Physics proves the globe, whatever. I was one of the first things I ever, when I got into flat Earth and I started talking to friends and stuff, like, that was like one of the first things people would ever say. If I talked about flat Earth, they'd be like, "Oh no, bro, physics, bro." Literally, like, I can recall multiple times people just saying the word physics and thinking like that's the end of the conversation. So now we're talking about the physics of water.
That's just a meme, though. That's like your politicians during the last 2 years saying follow the science.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like just retarded.
Here's the funny thing: how it's flipped on its head. Now we have the physics of water. So people talk about like, oh, well, water drops and stuff like that, but we're talking about bodies of water. So any body of water that you could put your body in is what we're directly referring to. So those all behave the same way: a bathtub, swimming pool, a pond, a lake, an ocean. They all behave the same way, I would say. So you're saying, oh, well, lasers can bend. Well, none of those bodies of water do. And that's what it's like to be a flat earther. I mean, you could just rebrand flat earth to flat water, because that's really what it boils down to. No pun intended.
Can I ask this question? Because I haven't ever asked this question to a globe believer before. But when you hear flat earth, what do you see in your mind?
It's some kind of disc with a dome.
Hell no.
There's no dome? It's not a disc?
Hell no.
What is it then? What's the shape?
No, who knows? No one knows. Look, bro, I could ask you this. What shape is your heart?
It's not heart-shaped.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not shaped like the emoji of a heart. You're correct. But the only correct answer would be heart-shaped, if you know what I mean. Like, so I could ask you, like, what shape is a lake? It doesn't have a shape. It's lake-shaped. So I would say that most things in nature are very irregular. Your hair, your body isn't a shape. It's irregular. It has a form, but it's not have like a cute little name, square, circle, triangle that you can just apply to it. So I would say the Earth is likely like that. But you can't, first of all, you can't see the whole Earth. So I know people tend to ask this question like, oh, well, they're trying to look at the Earth like you can look at a puppet on your hand. You don't get that outside view. I would say that's like a God's perspective of the Earth that you don't have. So you can go up in the sky, and you can zoom in, but you can't zoom out your eyeballs and start seeing the whole Earth. So if you ask a flat earther, what shapes the whole Earth? I don't know. I don't know what the layout of this whole place is. I know that the water lays flat. So we're not talking about a shape, really. So when you say, "Oh, it must be a disc," it must be that. That's usually just like propaganda that you'll see online. So I'll post some images in the chat. Not a flat.
Flat is just a descriptive word. Okay, it's not a shape. All right, your table is flat and round. You see what I'm saying? It's just a descriptive. It just describes what it is. Okay, the fact that we know for a fact, and physics dictates this, the laws of physics dictate that water will form to the shape of the container that it's in, and that it will be level on its surface. Now, isn't Earth's surface 71% water?
Yeah, there's maybe a little more. I don't really know.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, from what we know. Okay. So Earth's surface is 71% water, and if water finds its level on its surface, then is Earth water level?
Yeah, it's a circle level with itself.
A circle is just a description. It's not a shape necessarily. A circle is just a two-dimensional kind of a descriptive shape.
It's a level with
like
itself.
A circle is not a sphere, though.
Yeah, but is it level with itself?
Yeah, of course it's going to be level with itself. Water finds level to itself.
Wait.
A circle can be level. A sphere can be level.
Whoa.
No, a sphere. No.
Why are we talking about level circles? What's going on here?
How do you get level on a sphere? Think about that for a second. How do you get level on a sphere? When we use water to measure level.
Yeah, we
all yours.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so therefore, water is not curving. It's not bending. Water is level. What do you call points of land above the ocean? You call that points above sea level, right?
Yeah, of course.
So sea level. How does sea level describe anything spherical?
Yeah, makes sense.
How does it describe level?
What about the atmosphere, though?
Atmosphere has nothing to do with the shape of the Earth.
Well, sea level doesn't either.
Yeah,
because water. Hold on, let me address. I see what you did there, but I mean, what the globe earthers have done is redefined level to now mean curved. So is that something you would support, Brandon?
A curve can be level, can't it?
No.
I would say no.
So a circle is not level.
Huh?
So a circle is not level because it is curved.
For a curve to be level. It's physically impossible.
That's why I stopped you when you said it. I don't know why you even brought that up. Level circles.
So is your water in your glass, if you get a glass of water, it's going to be level in the glass, right?
Yeah.
And if you have a circular glass, then you're going to have a circle, right? Your water is going to be circle shaped and level in the glass.
Yeah, and you can have a globular glass too, and it'll fit the globe.
Trying to drink water from the outside of your cup.
But regardless of the shape of the container, the water's still level or flat at the surface of the water. It's not curved. That's really all we're getting at, bro. Is it curvy, bendy water, like you said? Well, lasers can bend, sure, whatever, but water doesn't. At least bodies of water don't. And so
you can make water do whatever you want in the right conditions.
Except for form a round ball and then stick to that. Or form into a hill for boats to go over. So water, definitely, you can't make water do that.
Well, it's not solid, of course not. That's stupid.
They say that boats go over the curve. So they're saying that the water is already formed into the hill for boats to disappear behind. So
So you think people are saying boats go over a solid water? Is that what you're saying?
No, they're saying that boats go over the curve. They're saying the curve is the horizon, of the Earth, of the globe Earth. So technically, it doesn't. I don't know where you're getting this idea the water needs to be like frozen solid or whatever to be formed into a hill. I mean, they're saying. I mean, they have lots of different reasons. People will say gravity forms it into the sphere shape, and then that's why the boats go over and stuff like that. So you can have your reasons, but they're saying that the water is curved and boats go over this curved water. So we're just at the stage now where we're mocking that idea. I've been calling it a hill for the last several months, and it's gained a lot of traction. So we're at the water hill stage now. I don't know. It doesn't have to be solid for the boats to go over, right? I mean, last time I checked, boats don't ski on ice or whatever. They go through water.
They're on top of the water because of the buoyant force.
Yeah, so why,
So
why is the water, they're saying the water is curved into like a hill, basically. When water doesn't do that.
right, water will seek its level on its surface completely. It doesn't matter how big the container is. The water on the top is always going to be level. Period. That's physics. That's what they teach us in physics, and that's correct. That's what we observe. That's what we can test. That's what we verify.
That happens with everything, not just water.
Liquids, okay? Liquids will be level on their surface, okay? Right?
Yeah, everything will.
Liquids in specific, I'm talking about the physics of liquid. Liquid will seek level on its surface. Will it not?
Yes, but why are you being so specific? Because everything will.
Bro, people have redefined
Because it is specific.
Because a rock won't always seek level on a sphere. A rock won't always seek level on a cylinder, depending on where you put it and how it's placed.
The key thing is that the word level has been redefined now to mean curved. That's why we're drilling into this so much. They've hijacked the word level, and all of a sudden now it means curved water. That's literally where the water hill meme came from in my mind. Is like we found this definition that said, "Oh, level is adhering to the curved liquid parts of the earth." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I couldn't find it one day. I was looking for it, so I just made my own called water hill. So, and then this is the context. I mean, I'll post a picture in the chat. If you're looking, Brandon, we were talking to a guy named Bob the Science Guy, very staunch anti-flat earther.
Oh,
he's saying that the bottom of these oil rigs are blocked by a hill of water.
It's also a horizon way beyond where it's supposed to be, so there's that too.
Yeah, what's blocking
Yeah.
the oil rig there?
Not a hill of water. So
Yeah, actually, that's exactly what it is.
Okay,
Look at how much is actually hidden.
okay, buddy.
Yeah, the one in the background. Why can't we see the bottom of it?
Well,
There's-
not so. Here, let me answer that. Not because of a hill of water.
Well, why then?
That's the claim, is that it's a hill of water blocking the bottom.
Okay, what's your claim then?
Well,
You're
it's
not
not
gonna
that. I would say that that's all you need to know, is it's not what they're claiming. And there's a lot of reasons for why it's there and then why it's not there
Wow.
another day. There's tons of factors for why that happens, and not one of them is curved water. That's the whole point.
How high was the camera? How high was the camera again on this? In the water. Was it like a foot above the water or something?
And look at the crane in the background. That it's all bendy and shit.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
But
No, but-
regardless, the claim on the table is that curved water. That's the claim, that we're dealing with curved water. When you go out to the horizon, the oceans are curved, lakes are curved, all that. Remember the first thing you said was, why don't you guys accept pictures? Well, the pictures show curved lakes. So that's the whole idea behind this. We're going out to see if those lakes really are curved. So forget the bendy cranes, all that stuff. You're supposed to be defending curved earth or curved water.
Okay,
Where's
then
that at?
why can't we see the bottom of the background oil rig?
Well, not because of any curved water.
Well, why
If you
then?
look very, very closely, if you look very, very closely at these oil rigs, look at the one that is further away. Now look at the bottom and look further behind that. You're going to see a horizon line that goes behind the furthest oil rig. You can still see the water, even behind that oil rig. Okay, because water is level all the way across this whole entire world. It's level.
Maybe we need to reset the table, Brandon. When did you first join the flat Earth, globe Earth conversation? What could you pin it down to a year? 20,
The
2020?
conversation itself, it hasn't been that long at all. It hasn't even been
Last
a year.
year? This year?
You could say this year because it hasn't been that long at all. Other than that, I've been watching the flat Earth conversations and stuff.
So like 2023, you kind of fresh, still pretty fresh to it?
Yeah, pretty fresh.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so when I joined, I started listening in 2017, and so at that time, what the conversation we're having now is exactly the conversation they were having then. What is the horizon? So they were saying that I've got a video pulled up from 9 years ago called "How Does the Horizon Work?" I'm gonna play it for us real quick. It's only like 90 seconds. I'm only gonna play like 60 seconds of it, but this will be able to help you understand that the original claim on the table, and then I'll tell you what the flat earthers have done to rebut that claim, and then it'll lead us to exactly this picture I posted. So here's the video. Let me give me a second. I'm just gonna pull this up. But essentially, I'm just gonna reset the table so that you know. Here's what the globe earthers have claimed from the jump. Then we'll work our way through the rebuttals and the claims from then. All right, here's the video.
Hi, I'm Josh Clark, and this is Brain Stuff, and I'm here to answer a very pressing question. Have you ever been standing at the edge of water, say like an ocean, and looked down on the horizon and said, I wonder exactly how far away that horizon is? You know, where the sky meets the sea? That's the horizon. Well, it turns out because the Earth is curved that it depends on where you're standing and how far above water you're standing. Let's say that you are in the water, right? And you're up to, say, your eyes are about 8 inches above the water surface. Well, again, remember the Earth is curved, and despite the ocean seeming flat, they actually curve themselves, which if you've ever really looked at the horizon, it kind of goes like this a little bit, which is pretty cool. But it also goes like this, right? So if your eyes are 8 inches above the water, right then you're about a mile away from that horizon point where the sky meets the ocean as far as you can tell. If you're standing up above water and you're like, I am about 6 feet tall, that means your eyes are about 5.5 feet above the water's edge, which means that you're about 3 miles away from the horizon. Isn't that amazing?
Okay, so I'm going to post in text just so anyone can read it. But that's the original claim. The horizon is the curvature. Go to the beach, you can see it left to right, front to back. Boom, he says it very plain and clear. And he even gives the math that goes along with that. A 6 foot person, distance to the horizon, 3 miles. And that matches perfectly with the 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. Math that you've probably heard before. So that's the original claim. Horizon's curved. Now, what do the flat earthers say in response? Well, they've been saying from the start that there's lots of factors for why it's not curved water or curved earth. There's factors like your observer's height, how high off the ground you are, the weather for that day, certain refraction conditions. Okay, so then at the time, the globe earth response to that was, you know, that's just perspective. You don't understand perspective, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so then what was our response to that? Black Swan. So the Black Swan came out in 2020. And and that's the picture we're seeing here with the bendy, the rigs there, right? Okay, and so what is the response from the globe earthers now? Oh, well, bendy, look, it's bendy, and refraction, and all this stuff. It's like, well, people are failing to realize that, number one, as a globe earther, your argument should be the curved water, the curved earth. You're supposed to be arguing for why the horizon is curved, as that's the original claim. But people have chucked that claim out the window. Now, like, oh, well, we have bendy light and bendy cranes and all this crazy stuff. Oh, well, you didn't account for refraction when that's been our argument for 6-7 years now. So that's the original claim, is that it should be a hill of water, and we're just showing you why it's not. And so that's it. And so that's when Bob the science guy comes in, and he's basically, he's trying to defend that claim.
There's also a horizon way beyond where it's supposed to be, so there's that too.
Yeah, what's blocking the bottom of the oil rig there?
Not a hill of water. So
yeah, actually, that's exactly what it is.
Okay,
look at how much is actually hidden.
Okay, buddy.
It's still good.
Well, of course you're still gonna see the horizon because it's not wide enough to block all of it.
Could it also be because horizons are horizontal, and horizontal doesn't mean curving?
Well, you just said blocking the horizon, so the curve is supposed to be the horizon,
According to the globe.
So when he was saying, what's blocking the bottom of the oil rig, he was saying that would be the quote-unquote hill of water, the geometric horizon or the curved earth. And we're saying, no, hell no, that's not what's happening ever. Like Miguel posted in the chat, water always behaves the same way in bodies of water. Okay, as I said earlier. Something you could put your body in, because I know these goofballs out here want to talk about, oh, well, what about a drop of water? Okay, I know you can put your brain inside of that, but we're talking about bodies of water here, not your bird brain sized drops of water.
Well said, brother.
So, anyway, and then the same thing too. Like if people want to talk about like small examples of water, well, if you have a glass or a beaker that's maybe smaller than like 2 inches in diameter, you can have a meniscus, because we'd be dealing with concave water. So you guys out there want to talk? If y'all want to debate a concave Earth now? No. So we can dismiss drops of water, meniscus. We're talking about bodies of water that you could put your body in, not your brain. So. Yeah. So anyway, that's where the hill of water thing came from. We're just at the stage of mockery, because that's, as a globe earth believer, you believe that essentially lakes are a big hill of water. They show you a picture of a globe from space, quote unquote, and it's a bunch of curved bodies of water, curved lake, curved ocean. But then you go in reality and there's no curve there. There's no hill of water there.
Is it water hill?
I don't know. What's water hill?
You're on it with those. I love that.
Well, he just left it he gave us such a gem with that. I mean, I just love it. It's funny because people will be, oh, dude, water hill, that's stupid. It's like, well, yeah, that's what we're saying. We're saying water doesn't do that. So, it's not our idea, bendy water.
Yeah. Okay.
So, like, you ask, like, oh, well, why is the crane bendy? Well, that just goes back into all those reasons that I pointed out earlier. number one, you're looking like 10 miles over the ocean. What? We just...
Yeah,
we
well,
got-
fraction is going on.
Yeah, bro. That's one of our arguments, like I said earlier. So, I mean, I wouldn't expect just... I mean, you can get the same effect sitting in your driver's seat looking over the hood of your car. I mean, it's right in front of you, and you can still get the same kind of bendy type of effect. And that's just right. So, like, okay, so if you're looking 10 miles over the ocean, oh, wow, it's bendy. It's like, oh, okay, well, what do you expect, dude? You're looking kind of far over the ocean. But even still, that's part of our argument, is that there's factors for why the horizon does what it does. It changes, and none of those reasons are curved water.
Yeah,
that's the whole argument.
And it doesn't really have to be that far out either. I live in Arizona, and I've been in the desert when it was hot as heck, and mirages are the same thing. Yeah.
It makes things look wavy and bendy. That's the same thing, the same reason why the crane on the oil rig looks bendy.
Well, you might see people post like a side-by-side picture with, I don't have it. So if someone has that, the Black Swan, the side-by-side form, we can talk about it. But people, like Globe Earthers, will post it like, see, look. But they're not realizing that that's actually part of our argument. Is that
see if I have it.
The horizon shifts and moves around. So
if I got rid of it or not.
It shouldn't be doing that if it's the curve of the Earth.
Oh, wait, yeah, I have it.
Yeah, thank you, Miguel. So, in the same way that if you have a hill in your yard, let's say there's a hill in your backyard, doesn't matter.
That was the picture I was going to post. This one right here.
Whether you're blind, you move, that hill ain't going nowhere. Shouldn't be moving around. Okay, one day it's not going to be in the front yard. In the neighbor's yard, it's always going to be there. So, but if you look at the picture Miguel posted, one day the horizon looks like it's way behind the second rig. Then the other day, it looks like it's in front of the first one. So if the horizon is the curve of the Earth, like a hill in your yard, why in the hell is it moving around? Why is it in your neighbor's yard tomorrow, and then the next day it's in your front yard? What's going on if they're claiming that that's the curve of the Earth?
Well, in those pictures, it's going up and down. Yeah, I see that.
I would say I wouldn't say it's going up and down. Well, maybe a little with tides or whatever, perhaps. But I would say the horizon's moving forward and backward. You know, your visibility. You know, Heretic's in here. He'll talk about. You know, you go open your weather app or go turn on the news, your weatherman. He'll tell you your visibility distance for the day. I mean, just look at how hazy that one is on the right. So that's another one of the factors that we talk about, and I'll just repost it again for why it's not curved Earth, you know, like the hill in your yard. You know, weather is even one of those reasons.
So you're saying the horizon in that picture is going forwards and backwards, and that is due to refraction?
Sure. I mean, look, I'll post a GIF for you where that happens as well. Give me a second. It's definitely one of the reasons. It seems.
So you're saying it's possible that refraction doesn't move things up and down, but moves them backwards and forwards?
The humidity, the humidity of the air, you know. If there's a cold weather, it's different.
So it's your claim that refraction moves things backwards and forwards instead of up and down?
Well, I guess not necessarily. I wasn't saying you're wrong by the up and down part, because if you look at the GIF I posted, you can see how the shore of the beach looks like it's going up and down there too. But I was actually referring to like how the horizon, you know, on the right, appears to be in front of the first rig, and then on the left image, it's behind the second one. So it has moved essentially, not just up, but in front of the rig. So, and I would say that there's multiple reasons, not just refraction, but I'd say weather.
Yeah, there's also sorry, mate.
No, you're good.
Yeah, there's also so there's moisture in the air. So what it does, it creates magnification. So it makes things look bigger when there's more moisture in the air, which could also make it look closer because it's bigger. So there's so many factors. It's not funny.
Yeah,
but the point is that it's not a physical place. Well, it's a physical place, but you know the horizon is not.
There are a lot of people in the server that just don't like me, apparently.
Why?
No, where are you getting that idea?
The gifs that are being posted, it's so annoying.
Don't read into that.
It's so annoying, and this guy putting his face in his hands, stuff like that.
No, you've been fine. I don't think
That's not. I wouldn't take that personally, man. It's just people having a joke around, you know. It's a bit of comedy while the conversation's going on. Don't read into it too much, man.
As well. That's just the same person as well. So it's not like, oh, a lot of people are flaming me. That was just the one person. So it's all right.
To be honest, I didn't even mean to do that. I don't even know what's going on with my phone right now.
Yeah, you've been respectful, bro. I mean, there's no worries. Really can't ask much more from a sparring partner than just a pleasant back and forth. So no worries, dude. There's no beef with you.
Yeah, that's not my tactic. I don't fight against it. I'm just here to hear what you think and stuff.
We triggered someone so much yesterday that he lived in the same city as me. They were saying, "Where do you live, Timbo? Where do you live, Timbo?" So, you know, you're being alright, mate. You got people getting so triggered that they want to find where I live. It's fucking ridiculous, mate. So, you know, you're being very cordial. I wouldn't
Here's
worry
the thing,
about it,
though. So all these reasons that we're pointing out, refraction, weather, Timbo was saying, like, oh, well, there's even more, like, what's funny is that used to be called flurspective. When we used to list off those reasons, globe earthers would be like, oh, that's flurspective, you just don't understand. Now in 2023, and it sucks for the people new like you who've just shown up, now they're claiming all those reasons as like proof of the globe. It's like, so they're just like stepping behind our argument, folding their arms and going, yeah, that's we win now. It's like, no, you're just making our argument for us at this point. So just be very aware of that. Be careful if you hear like some globe earthers being like, oh, just say refraction, bro. They don't understand refraction. That's cap. Refraction is our argument. So all they've done is just basically hijacked our argument and claimed victory. And I spent all this whole spiel is just to sort of reset the table to help you understand that they don't have a victory. They're still, they've basically just chucked out the claim in the original claim is gone. Notice how no one's trying to debate a curved water anymore. That's why we're like mocking it. Where's your water hill? Bendy light. So they're like, they basically have just thrown their own claim under the bus. So that's where we're at.
Refraction is a thing now.
Yeah, but it's our thing. That's our argument. Yeah, because like that's the thing. Like you notice in the video when I played the video from the guy from 9 years ago, he goes, "Well, when you go to the beach, you can see the curved water." He says, "You see it left to right, front to back." He didn't in the video go, "Oh, well, there's refraction and stuff, blah blah blah." He said it's right there. The curve is there, this far away. That's the claim. So that's like, notice how you're like, oh, well, there's refraction, blah, blah, blah. That's our argument for why it's not curved water. Because there's refraction and weather and all these different reasons for why the horizon's moving around and shifting around.
Well, that's never been denied. I've never heard a globe believer deny refraction.
No, they're just basically all they're doing is hijacking the argument and claiming victory.
If you invoke refraction, your geometrical horizon is dead.
That's what I'm saying. That should be like if you're Team Globe, you need to be arguing that the horizon is curved, not why it's not curved. Okay, because if you're saying, oh well, it's refracted, that's why it's not curved. That's our argument, bro. Like that's what people don't realize, and I feel bad for people like yourself. Not no shots fired or anything, but like it seems like the people new to the party haven't got the memo. They're oh, refraction happens. Yeah, that's literally what the flat earthers have been saying from day one.
CB, they don't know when they say refraction. They don't know they're invoking terrestrial refraction. That's the refraction what is hiding the curvature. But for terrestrial refraction, you need to have radius in the first place. That's what we don't see.
Yeah. It's just really funny. And like I said, I feel bad for new people because they haven't got the memo. They weren't told that flat earthers like that they know about refraction and stuff like that. Because you present the black spot and they go, "Oh, refraction. What's up, flat earth? What's up?"
Hey, I got a friend who's a flat earther. He's trying to come in Discord right now. But so he's at the very beginning where it says like to send a link. Like you have a friend, or he doesn't know what to put in to get into this Discord server.
He should. If you drop him a link, you should be able to just click and it'll bring him in automatically.
Yeah. Where do I get the link from?
I've tried.
I got you. It should be just discord.gg/flatearth. But let me copy and paste one for you.
I've actually tried to search it myself, but I didn't know how though.
It's just discord.gg/flatearth. But let me get you. I'll just drop it in the chat so that when he gets this link, he should be able to just click on it and it'll.
Okay. Okay, I'll click on that and then copy and paste it.
Yeah, the link's right above the button there.
The way I was able to find it and get in is through one of Fight the Flat Earth's videos. He posted the link to your server. So
Nice.
that's how I was able to get in.
Okay, I just sent it to him.
Really?
I'll be back in a little while. He might come in here. I'll tell you his nickname. I'll be back. Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
All right.
FTFE must be a masochist. He's posting the server in his server, but last time he came in, he lasted about 5 minutes with Mimas. And he goes, "Okay, see you later."
What happened in that 5 minutes?
He said he wanted a claim. Mimas said, "No, we can't go any further unless you can."
Oh, dude. Oh, man. They always want... They're so desperate for a claim.
And so Mimas turned it around on him and said, "No, you're the one with the claim, mate. Tell me how you got this measurement and how you confirmed it."
Pillbox, what's his name? XO was always really good about pointing out how they sprint from their claim. Why are you guys sprinting away from your claim?
I miss hearing his rants.
Yeah, I do too. But dude, it's like, notice like Matthew, he's really thirsty for a claim as well. You know, so thirsty, like they'll try to force a claim out of you. That's why.
Yeah, he says, "Oh, well, I can't argue with you because you got no claim."
Yeah.
That's what he says.
Like,
that's because we're not making a claim.
Yep, exactly. That's why I love my experience in the courtroom.
Well,
because to help me realize that you cannot reverse the burden so I was the one who filed. So I had the burden of proof. Okay? I had to prove that what I said happened. So I had to bring the evidence. So I can't go to court and be like, "Oh, well, they have to prove that blah blah blah." No. So that's why I'm really keen on that when like Matthew and these, you know, like you said, FTFE, he wants a claim. Like, you guys are so friggin' thirsty for a claim. When first of all, it's just fallacious on its face because you guys have the original claim.
You're kind of making a negative claim. You're saying it's not this.
Right. That means that then that's the burden of proof doesn't fall on the negative claim.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
So
can't reverse the burden.
Have you got, you know, for you to actually believe that you live on a spinning space ball, you need some really hard evidence. And the problem is there isn't any, because you walk outside, it's stationary. Like, I'm here, it's a beautiful morning, the sun's just up in the sky, moving across the sky. The birds are flying around, there's not a breath of wind. It's peaceful, it's stationary, and it looks flat.
Can you feel?
I don't need proof for that. Because you guys are telling me that I live on a spinning space ball. I don't feel that. My experience is that I live on a flat, stationary, you know, realm, whatever you want to call it. So, for you to convince me that I live on a space ball spinning in outer space, you need some proof, and you don't have any. That's the problem. That's why we're all here.
Is it possible that it's a constant speed? Because you can't feel constant speed.
Because you're accelerating. You're going around in an orbit, so you're always turning, and then you're going in an elliptical orbit as well. So you're speeding up and slowing down, and spinning, and rotating. So where's the constant?
Well, you're moving along with it, aren't you?
I don't know. You tell me, man. How do we prove that?
Brandon, in which case we are stationary?
It's a question. I didn't make a claim. I don't.
In which case, question. In which case we can be stationary?
Never, if you're on a globe.
Because if you are moving when we are stationary, and if you are moving when we are moving, that means we cannot be stationary in any case.
ACB.
Tell him to join a VC. And that can move him in.
Okay.
Anyone should do, and I can move him here. What was your question, Brandon? I'm sorry, you asked a question.
I said, would it be possible that it's already been answered?
Yeah.
But I asked.
Okay, dude, but that's not the only movement that they're claiming. Just, you know, the spin. That's not the only movement.
Yeah,
you
I know that.
Like, the sun is technically supposed to be moving as well, and then the galaxy that the sun is in would also be moving, and then that galaxy is moving. So it's like, that's not the only movement. So people say, like, oh, well, we wouldn't, you know, it's totally constant. No, it's not.
Also, we're moving perfectly towards Polaris. It never deviates from that spot in the sky.
You are rotating 1,000 miles per hour, but left you are going 66,000 miles per hour.
Do you measure spin in miles per hour?
I'm telling you what is rotation of the Earth, but what is orbital speed of the Earth, that is 66,000 miles per hour. That's you going left around the sun, or right, whatever you choose.
No, my question is, do you measure spin in miles per hour?
I mean, you can look at it in a couple different ways, but
it's called conversion rates. Conversion rates.
Don't confuse yourself, mate. Don't confuse yourself with RPMs and miles per hour, because you're going to need your RPM. You're going to need your miles per hour to get your RPM.
I mean, you ask a flat earther how many miles per hour, we're just going to say 0. So, I mean, but if you look at the chat, I posted a GIF. You know, if you're going around a racetrack, even at a constant speed, like, how are you? I don't even know why people think the Earth moves at all. I mean, like I said, we were at the mockery stage with the Waterhill thing. Like I'm also been mocking the idea that like people think buildings move. So you said like, oh well, if we're on the globe, we'd be moving with the Earth. Yeah, so would the buildings then too. And so that would mean like all these buildings that we live in would be moving. So you should see the absolute backlash that happens in the chat when I ask that question. But
Yeah, why would the
it's
buildings be
ridiculous.
moving? Why would the buildings be moving? They're on solid ground.
Not individually, like you said earlier, you would be moving with the Earth. So it's like if you're standing still, you'd be moving with the Earth. That's why Sasha asked you, like, in what case, in what scenario, are we standing still? It would be never, because everything would be moving,
Well,
even the buildings.
Well,
So I'm not saying your house is tiptoeing down the street, but it would be attached to the moving Earth. So objectively, the buildings would be moving if we were on a globe that spins.
So is the
Brandon,
Earth
Brandon,
completely
it's easy.
solid?
It's easy. If you buy some cheap drone and put in the air hovering, and if drone is going away from you, Earth is rotating. That's the point.
Well, is the Earth completely solid?
What do you mean? The where the buildings are attached, I would say probably. What are you getting?
Why don't you try building a fucking tall skyscraper on not a level surface and see what happens? Please try it.
I mean, what are you getting at about the solid
Like, is the Earth like a pool ball? Is it completely solid?
Yeah. What's your point?
So tectonic plates don't exist.
What does that have to do with a pool ball?
Yeah, I don't know how you made those two connections.
Because a pool ball is completely solid.
That's Neil
The
deGrasse Tyson
Earth.
shit right
Okay,
there.
whatever.
No, look, tectonic plates. I don't personally think they're a thing. If you just look at the deepest anyone's ever gone on the Earth is like 7-8 miles maybe. The tectonic plates are claimed to be like 25 miles deep. So where did that idea even come from? Like, it's just an idea, I think, tectonic plates, and that would mean, the idea of Pangea and stuff like that. No, I don't buy that for a second. So that's just a claim at this point. And when I'm talking about moving buildings, I'm definitely not talking about like on the tectonic plates. I'm definitely referring to, if we're on a globe that spins and moves, and everything on the Earth that's attached to it, it's also moving and spinning along with that Earth. So that's all.
Well said, brother.
Saying the Earth is stationary and stuff, and everything else moves. Aren't you?
Well, do you feel yourself moving when you just go stand outside, say on a day that there's like no wind blowing at all? Do you feel like you're moving?
I'm not sure why I should.
Because you're not. That's the point. You're not moving.
I mean, where is the idea that you're even moving? Like, where did that idea even come from to begin with? That you
who could just be like, "Oh, we're moving."
Like, people just jump to the idea like, oh, well, why would I feel it? It's like, well, where'd you get the idea that you were moving to begin with? Like, why would your base idea be like, yeah, I'm definitely moving, but you just don't notice? It's like, where'd you get the idea from? Just because you were told?
Science?
It's not like there's any observation. You don't observe the Earth moving. You don't observe the Earth moving. You do see the sun moving. You sit in your room in front of a window during, the sunrise or whatever. The sun literally moves across your window. So it's either your house is moving, that room you're in is either moving, or the sun is. So take your pick. I'll go with the sun for that's what I see moving. But a lot of goofballs out here think that their house is the thing that's moving. So that's why I like that. Moving buildings, moving houses.
So you think the sun orbits the Earth?
Well, I don't know about orbit, but you just look up in the sky and you see the sun moving. So if you're asking me, I'll take two things to the bank. The sun's in the sky, the sun is moving. I'll stop right there. But our goofball friends think that the sun goes under you or under the ground. So you can take your pick there as well. So people say flat earthers are the crazy ones, but they think that your house is moving and that the sun goes under your house.
So
hey, CB, Vinny Eckert at the bottom, he's a flat earther from Santa Barbara. Can you give him permission?
He's got permission. Yep. Go ahead.
Okay. Vinny. Can you hear me?
So it's the sun moving in a straight line, or
probably not.
How is it moving, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't make the Earth or the sun, so I can't really say.
If I had to guess, it's probably. I mean, I'm just guessing here. Like, it moves like an hour hand on a clock. Because you tell the hour of the day by the sun.
If I had to guess, since we're seeing the sun through something, obviously, since we get sundogs, it's a reflection through something we're seeing. It's not an actual physical object.
Well, you only get sundogs at certain times, right?
I get them all the time. I live in Ohio. All the time. Moondogs, too.
Those are pretty cool.
Literally, they're cool because the moon puts out a cold light.
Okay.
Vinny, come in.
Flutter, is that guy near that oil rigs?
Is he what?
Is it that Santa Barbara where are the oil rigs?
No, it's not. It's not the guy who did the.
No. I'm asking if he's living there.
Oh yeah, he lives in Santa Barbara. Yeah, where the oil rigs are.
I want to ask him: does oil rigs moved or they are there?
Oh, what do you mean?
But because there is some projections happening there in the sky, I want to know why. Yeah.
Oh, because they have they in right here. They also have the Vandenberg Space Force base. I think maybe that's not what you're asking, though, huh?
Yeah, I want to know if that all rigs are real or they are only some phenomena in the sky.
Right? Are you joking?
Yeah. No, I'm not joking. I want to know if is it water real behind the oil rigs, because he can confirm that.
Oh yeah. Okay. If we can get him on here.
Yeah, because he's living there. Maybe it's only projection. That water or because people are saying there is.
He said he can hear me. He said he can hear me, but he can't join.
Okay, that was cool. Alright, that was interesting. I may do this more often. I don't know. We'll see.